Welcome back, everyone. Gonna do a quick little episode on what I'd like to call a backyard food plot. So many of us probably don't have, big properties we can work on, or hundreds of acres that are just for us. So what I've done, since I don't have that, is I have 2 acres at my house that butts up to a thick, nasty swamp, and I call it the backyard. Was just kind of wasted. It was old goldenrod, super high grown up brush, and I decided, why not do something with it. So right now I'm standing in my backyard clover plot. To start this, what I did was I mowed it in the fall, had it real low, and then so in the early spring I was able to come back in here and burn that thatch off, and that's what I ended up doing. I burnt that thatch off, and then I frost seeded heavily with clover. So I'll show you guys what I have going on here with clover. I have some weeds growing up, and I'll show you what I've been doing to kind of maintain this plot. It's about 1.5 years old. It's looking pretty good. There's obviously some weeds coming up, some spots that don't look the greatest, but for what I need or what I'm going for, it's better than nothing. I've had a lot of deer come in here, up to I think 10 deer at once on camera. So just something I've done, and something that you might be able to try and on your property if you have a small bit of acreage. So I'll show you what I have going on here. So here's the clover. As you can see, there's quite a bit of good clover in here. There are some dandelions, some other weeds, but I'll maintain that using spray or mowing, mainly mowing. So yep, some good clover coming in. So what kind of guided me to this spot, or kind of drew me into it, was it's kind of hidden from the road, so deer obviously like security, and then the few things deer need are food, water, cover. So really at this spot we didn't have food, so there was really no need for them to hit this spot. So I threw the food here. Not only do we have clover, I had this old apple tree here that I pruned last spring, so it should produce quite a bit more apples. So this will draw these deer to this spot. And then a few other things I've added over here. I have 2 late dropping hybrid chestnuts I just got this year. I bought them from, I think, Whitetail Hill Chestnuts. Kind of on the expensive side. We'll see how they do. I'm hoping they do well. So I have those in tree tubes, as you can see right here. They're only 1-year-old trees, but they say they should produce 3 to 5 years. So once we hit that point, that'll be another extra food source in here. And then I have another one up here. So just 2 of those hybrid chestnuts right there. Just something else to pull these deer in here. And then up here, as you can see, there's almost like a hedge. And on this hedge, the idea for this was security for the deer. So here in about probably a month and a half, this should grow up to 1 foot to 2 foot tall, which will give these deer just a little bit more security to be in the plot, which I'm hoping to allow them to come out here more at daylight hours. So if you look from here, you can see down in there, you give 1 foot, 2 foot of grass, it should block some of that to give these deer a little bit more security. So I also have planted, I got 2 pear trees here. I did have a peach tree, but I think it's dead, so we'll have to replant something here. But I'm throwing these in here for another food source for the deer. And then also I want these to act more as like cover or privacy or security for these deer, to kind of block them from the road here, because we do get quite a bit of traffic. So that's the main portion of the plot. Something I'm also going to show in this video is the new addition to the plot I'm going to throw in. So over here, it kind of was the same thing, high goldenrod, just nasty brush. So far I've sprayed it. I'll show you guys. So all this brown mess I'm going to create into another part of this clover plot. So as you can see, a bunch of thatch in there, just dead grasses. And today we're going to burn that off. So once we burn that off, I already seeded it. I heavily seeded it. The seed should be in that thatch. It might have even worked through with some rain in the past few days. and then once that fire goes through, it'll burn off all that thatch, give good seed to soil contact, and it should grow up a good plot. I'll probably spray it one more time because there is still some grasses there that I didn't hit the first time that I must have missed, and then that will be the addition to this plot, just get a little bit more food in here. And then over here I did have 2 pin oaks planted. I think last year I planted them, just small 1-year-old pin oaks. I don't even know if they're gonna grow. It's hard to say. I'm hoping they bud out here in the next few weeks, but we will see. So yeah, so just kind of building this area up, giving these deer as much food as possible to draw them here. I have a few deer here. I've had some really good bucks on camera, mainly at night, but I'm hoping these additions I make will help bring these deer in the daytime hours. So that's the goal as of right now. I will show the burn on here. In regards to burns, just make sure you have, if you guys try it yourselves, make sure you guys have the help, have an idea of what you're actually doing. The first one I did on this other plot, I want to say got out of control, but I was definitely uncomfortable doing it myself. I kind of looked like a rabbit running around back here trying to, you know, stop fire when it probably was fine. I had good fire breaks and everything. So just something to think about before you burn. So with that being said, I'm gonna mow this clover plot down to help deal with some of the weeds, some of the broadleaves in here. I did just spray a grass killer on here. I don't think I mixed it the right ratio, and it didn't really work. So I'm gonna mow, probably spray again here in a few weeks. If you guys have any tips and tricks of some plots you guys have done, let me know in the comments. It's something I'm kind of new at, kind of learning on my own. So the best part about these backyard plots is you don't need anything crazy. You just need simple household items. I use a hand sprayer for this one. You could use a rider mower, a push mower, a weed whacker, whatever your heart desires. You don't need these big tractors. You don't have to disc the ground. There's ways around that, and that's what's cool about these plots. Like here, I just mowed this whole thing in 10 minutes, and it should allow that clover to reach above the grass and help weed management. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for that burn in the backyard food plot. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll get back to you. As you saw, the burn went really well. It worked out with 3 of us there. We really didn't need all that help, but you just never know. All right, guys, I want to come on here and let you know about the giveaway we're going to do. So the goal for this giveaway is to hit 500 subscribers. Right now, I think we're at like 72. So we really got to make a jump here. To enter the giveaway, you just got to make sure you follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. And the giveaway will be for these hats I ordered. They have the Triple Deuce logo. They came out really nice, super nice hats. So just make sure you follow us on Instagram at Triple Deuce Outdoors. subscribe on YouTube at Triple Deuce Outdoors, and then for YouTube, make sure your privacy allows us to see that you are a subscriber. If I cannot see you, I cannot tell, you won't be entered into the giveaway. So just make sure that privacy is changed, and then once we get 500, I will do a drawing, and one of you guys will be lucky enough to have one of these hats. There's only 6 of them so far. So thanks for watching, and once again, don't forget to subscribe.